I just got finished looking at a video. I haven't been over here. I haven't put a video up on this particular channel in 8 months. And I'm not embarrassed to say it, the video ain't got no views. But you know what? That's not important to me. The most important thing is that I will have something to look back on. You know what I mean? The most important thing is that in that video, you will get something positive. It is there. And I put the information. It may not be much of nothing in that. It may be just me just plain talking. But one thing of a surety, I can say that there is something that is put out that somebody will catch something in there that you know what I mean. Most important thing, nobody won't be able to say that, okay, well, something is positive put out. Something put out is to just try. You know what I mean? At least if somebody go back and look at that video 50 years from now and say, well, I really don't like that video. I can say, well, you know what? Well, I tried. You see what I'm saying? Because when I was growing up, and the reason what happened is that I'm gonna have to go into some history with my thoughts right for right now, is that the reason that our older generation failed us is because they had a generation before them that failed them. And the generation that failed them, it goes all the way back to what white folks have actually done to black people and destroyed their minds. Of course, we did have a family structure. We had a powerful, our families was powerful. Our families, we we have to understand that before Columbus came over here, Columbus came to this country, they slaughtered over 7 billion Indians in this country. White folks came in the name of peace, in the name of unity, in the name of God. But their aim, they use their charming, I should say, I'm gonna use charming. They use their charming in a way is to overthrow us as a people of color. Just like now, they pretend to be real nice to us, but in reality, they do all of that, but you still can't trust them. You still cannot trust your enemy. And I'm gonna show you an evidence of that. And by the way, this Bible is not a religious book; it is a history book. Since I've been under the Hebrew Israelites, I honor and respect what they have been taught. I learned that there are 613 commandments in the law. So it's a great thing. So what I want to do is show you something right now that's coming from, I think it's Proverbs, yeah, Proverbs 25 and verses 25. Proverbs 25. No, I'm sorry. I'm saying 25. My bad. I was wrong. Proverbs 26 and verse 25. Proverbs 26 and 25. Talking about the so-called Caucasian people. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart, whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be shown before the whole congregation. Do not trust and sit up under no Roman Catholic priest, no white bishops at all. You cannot trust what they say because notice a word that I got in here. It says, "When he speak is fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart." And I wish a lot of people would take time to actually hear what I'm saying in this video. A lot of people ain't gonna take time to really look into this because they are dealing with, they're still in that docile state of mind that they've been in for over 65 years ago. People that was born in the 50s and the 60s and stuff, they 65, 75, and 85 now. they still got their brain wrapped around into into a mindset like that. You see what I'm saying? Just like a dog. If you take a dog from a little puppy, let's say you take a dog maybe about 5 to 6 weeks old, and you train that dog. Let's say you can train a dog for things that you want him to do. You can train them for different things. If you want to train that dog is to be a dog just to bark, you can train them just to bark or whatever. I'm just using an analogy here. Or either you can train that dog to attack, or you can train him to bite, or you can train him to latch on to people. You got a lot, you can train them to whatever you want them to do. You can train them to be in command. That means obedience to whatever you say. Command is like an obedience. You can train that dog is to be a nice dog to people. You can train that dog is to bite. You can train them to not be a friendly dog. What I'm trying to say is whatever you teach that dog to do, that's what it's going to do. So with us as a people of color, I look at us and I look at how the Hebrew Israelites be talking to especially to our sisters and some of our brothers too. They find every excuse that they can. No matter what's coming out, even if you can show them and it goes back to white folks. White folks came in and they told us something sneaky. They told us something that will get our minds. Like they say, you know what? What we're gonna do, we're gonna give these so-called Negroes a job. That's how we can get them. They in poverty, they poor, they don't have nothing. They don't have nothing. They don't have nothing at all. So you know what I'm gonna do? Hey, we're gonna offer them a little money. We're gonna offer them a job. We're gonna pay them probably about $200 to be an Uncle Tom. That right there is what destroyed our mind. So let me read on. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him. A lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it. A lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it, and a flattering mouth worketh ruin. It stands for this. It's telling you destruction and death. Now I couldn't understand some of them, but I do understand whoso diggeth a pit shall fall. White folks is going to fall into their own ruins. Now listen, I'm gonna go back up to verse 25. When he speaketh fair, it says, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. You cannot believe everything you can't trust your enemies, period. We have enemies on this earth. You cannot trust your enemies. That's Psalms 28, verse 3. That's Psalms 28, 3. You all can go look that up if you want to. Maybe I should read it since I'm let's see here. Psalms 28. Psalms is a grid. Okay. It's a lot of pages in Psalms. Psalms 28, verse 3. Draw me not away with the wicked and with the workers of iniquity, that's sin, which speaketh peace to their neighbors, but mischievous is in their hearts. Look what it says. You can't, what my grandfather used to tell me. He said, and he told me and my mother that, and he told my nephews and my nieces that. He said, I don't care how good white people is to you, don't you, the Caucasian people, I should say, don't you never think they love you. And they don't. And I see that, I see the fulfillment of that. You can't trust them. I want y'all to think about 2015 of Dylan Roof. Think about that. I want y'all to think about that. Think about how Dylan Roof. Now he sat in that service for about an hour or two, I believe, about 2 hours, and then he took his gun. He took and went off and shot and killed 9 black people in cold blood. Wasn't nothing done about it. Y'all don't know these people. Anybody that is outside the nation of Israel, they are the enemy to Israel. That's what the Bible teaches. That's what it said. Now let me read you another one. Now I read Psalms 28 and 3. I don't even remember reading that neither. I don't think I ever read it. I don't believe. I might have read it and didn't even realize. Psalms 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth, talking about the so-called Caucasian people, the words of his mouth, that's how they got this country. That's how they stole this country over here. This so-called America, that's how they got it. They got it through violence. They got it through bloodshed. They got it through war. They got it through. That's how they went to every country in the world and conquered. And that's how they succeeded in everything that they've done. They did it deceitfully. They lied. They stole. They robbed. They murdered. They raped. And they did all that kind of stuff. They did it. That's why you think they have so many black women in office now? Why you think they have so many of them doing cash arrest? Now I'm not hating on nobody and nothing like that. Our people, I love our people. I'm just trying to warn my people. That's all I'm trying to do. So don't get it twisted. You see so many sisters in places like Walmart. You go in there, you see them on the cash registers. You see more. You see what I'm saying? See what they do, and then they telling you that if you got a man in the house, you can't get no benefits or nothing like that. They took the man completely out the house. This is their aim, people. This is what they want to do: is destroy the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American, which are the real Jew. And anybody outside of that that's not a natural born Israelite is the enemy to the Israelite. There's no such thing as a spiritual Israel. You cannot convert to being a spiritual Israel. Just like a non-apple tree cannot convert and be an apple tree. It cannot become a spiritual apple tree. There's no such thing. That's just like if I have 5 children, and no matter how much I claim that child is mine, no matter how much he want to claim, we can claim each other. I can say, yeah, that's my stepdaughter or that's my stepson or whatever. But I cannot make that child be my natural born child because the seed, the DNA will tell that. Your DNA can tell whether that child is yours. That's the same way it is with becoming a spiritual Israel. No matter, even your enemies, if God created the enemies and God put that in them and designed those enemies to hate you like that, then what make you think you can go out and you cannot, a person that does not have the Spirit of God, they can't love you even if they try. Think about that. They can't love you even if they try. The so-called white man can't even love you even if they try, because that's just in them. It's in their nature. It's better in their nature. Is they just a natural born enemy from birth, because the Bible says that as soon as they go astray, as soon as they speak, as soon as they be born, they speak lies. As soon as they be born, they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. That's what he said. That means they speak lies from the womb. So don't you ever think, no matter if he give you $1 million, he want to sign you up. I don't care if he want to sign you up for a contract. It's not going to work. It's not going to work, because what's better in them to do, they're going to do it. Just like you can't make a dog or you can't make no animal become no human, because it's in his nature and he was created to be a animal. You cannot make an animal into a human being. You can't do that. He's still going to be an animal. He's still going to be able to bark. You can't make that dog talk like you can. He may can do it in other ways, but he won't be able to naturally talk, be able to talk like you hear me talking into my camera. No. So I'm telling you, y'all need to read this stuff for yourself. And I want to say, we need to start listening more. We need to. I think, well, what that text at? I think it's in Psalm 58. Okay, here it is. Psalm 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. It's talking about so-called nations outside the nation. This is not talking about Israel, because Israel was not wicked. Israel is a loving people. By nature, they are. But what happened was, since our enemies ruled over us, it turned us into hating each other. And do you know that the so-called white men, when they knew what they was doing now, they were smart. They came over here and with the bread, the best, they took and they bread. They came in and they wanted to mix amongst the so-called black. That's why they took and raped the women. And then they took not only that, the women's they was trained and taught by their masters is to willingly give themselves over to their masters. That's why a lot of black women, they can holler, "Ooh, girl, I met me a white. Oh, girl, I'm a white." You know, they go crazy over them or something like that. You know what I mean? And that's why they walk them. They are brainwashed just to walk around and say, "Ooh, girl, I'm gonna get if I get me a white man, if I get me a man, a mixed child or whatever." These are the things that they're doing, and this is what black women don't have. And our so-called black women. I'm sorry, I meant to say so-called because you're not African American, you're not black. Those are proverbs and bywords because we choose not to follow the commandments of the Most High. And so we got those proverbs and bywords. And this is the reason why our little girls grow up with self-hate. And this is the reason why a lot of our young men grow up with the same thing. It's self-hate and stuff. It's because we got these traits from our oppressors, because we want to look like our oppressors was telling us that they was telling a lot of our people they was ugly. They was telling a lot of us, of them that they wasn't beautiful. And this is the reason why a lot of time we ruin our daughters and our sons low self. We try to ruin their self-esteem by saying, if you, well, I'm gonna get me some blonde hair in my head and look like a so-called white woman. You don't have to look like no white woman because you're better than that. All this stuff about we attacking each other's skin color, skin this and dark this and light this and all that kind of stuff. All this stuff, it came from the stem of our oppressors, and these are that we just don't understand. They knew what they was doing. These are things that they are doing. They did it on purpose. They did it on purpose, people. It's because they want they use that to divide. Don't you know when that white woman is dating that black man? That I don't care how much you say this white woman love you, or how much this white man love you as a so-called black woman, or so-called black man, the white woman, they don't. I don't care what they do for you. That remember, that's only a reason. That's only for a conspiracy purpose, is to continue to destroy the black families and breed you out so that we can continue to destroy each other. If you don't accept what I'm saying, if you don't want to accept what I'm saying is the real deal, then all you got to do is read Deuteronomy chapter 28, and it's going to tell you that. Let's read this in. The wicked are estranged from the womb. That means they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. That's so-called white man. See, let me tell you something about us. Let me tell you something. All right, let me use Michael Jackson as an example. Michael Jackson is a beautiful person. Guess what? Michael Jackson singing like that. Michael Jackson was gifted from in the womb from doing that. You have to remember, our people was not born to they in the when we came out the womb, we wasn't born wicked. We're not born wicked. It is natural that why do you think so many of our people of color, when them Hebrew Israelites be out there speaking, what the first thing that them other so-called black people be doing, the Israelites, the so-called Jacobs be doing out there. A lot of them that's Uncle Toms and Sambos and Coons or whatever you want to call them, they be out there defending the so-called white man, defending them, and then sitting up there giving them hug, giving the white woman hug, giving the white man a hug, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm saying these things, that this is what they have done. You see what I'm saying? That's why the Bible says, he said, we are born gifted. We can cook, we can do anything with our hands good. We can build with our hand. Black people, we are so we just been, and the reason why we got these docile state of minds, and the reason why you find a lot of our sisters go out here and they get and they are baby daddies, they got baby daddy mamas and all whatever you want to call that, is because This all started happening from slavery. This is what the so-called white folks was doing in slavery. It was not only the white men, it was the women, the white women too. You see what I'm saying? They bred the best of the best, and this is where this came in. This is where all this mixing coming in at. This is where the self-hate started coming in at. You can deny it all you want, but that's where it come from. This is where it come from, and I'm gonna deal with this more on a more higher level and a hypothetical level. When I say hypothetical, I'm saying that I'm using it like an example. You see what I'm saying? Because I love my people, and this is what I'm here to do. I'm the man for this here. I'm here to do everything I can is to wake my people up. That's all I'm doing. Let's read this here again. Isaiah 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. That means they eat the white folk, the other nations, Chinese, and do you know the Chinese race is a incest race? Yes, Lot. Lot is an incest race. Lot, yeah. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. That's all white folks do. It's not in their nature to tell the truth. It's in their nature to lie. It is in their nature to deceive and kill you. Why do you think you can hear about stories on the TV to where you see it? It was just, I think it was just day before yesterday, there was a school shooting. Some white folks went on a killing spree. And then why you think you can see all of that? It's because this is what they are like this from the womb. That's right. They are like this from the womb, people. So let me read this here. Let me read. Their poisons is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the death adder that stoppeth her ears. Okay, that means they don't want to hear what you got to say. In other words, what this is saying is you cannot convince a snake that he's a snake. You cannot take and convince a low down, dirty person that they is low down and dirty if it's in them to be that way. And that's white folks. The reason why a lot of us, a lot of our people, you want to say low down and dirty and all that kind of stuff, they want to be Uncle Tom or whatever. The reason why they don't talk about the stem of where it come from. The reason why they can be low down and dirty is because they was taught and trained by their so-called slave or master or enemy is to be low down and dirty to their own people and kill their own people and all this kind of stuff, killing their own people, selling drugs to their own people, all that stuff that came from white folks. Because you have to remember, before black people, before us as a people of color know this, and how do you think that white folks was able to go all over the country and conquer and do what they did? When my brother come off of his vacations, he's traveling right now on his vacation. I'm going to make sure I tell him, let him know this thing, because I was telling him that the Bible was the white man's book and all that kind of stuff. I was just saying, oh, the Bible is the white man's book, and I found out if it wasn't for me listening to being tuning into the broadcasts that the Hebrew Israelites be put out and stuff like that. And because look, I read the Bible all my life, but I did not have a full understanding. I did not know that it was talking about chosen people. I read it, but I didn't read it. I didn't understand it in its full entire context. I didn't. I did not understand it in its full entire context. I didn't, people. I was lied. I realized that I have been lied to. But I'm not sitting up here blaming the leaders and the teachers that have done their best. They've done their best. They had, you know what I mean? I respect what the truthful things that they have taught me, that they was teaching me that was right. I respect the correct, a lot of the diet that they was correct in that essence. In that essence, they was correct when they say don't eat that. That the Bible condemns the eating of pork and all that kind of stuff. I respect them on that, and I appreciate, and I honor and respect the the leaders and the teachers, I should say, that gave me that from their heart, because they was correct in that part. I'm not in no ways denying that they was incorrect for that. You see what I'm saying? And teaching me and telling me about the day of worship and that God is a God of order. I learned these things as I was like when I was 17 and I was asking questions. I was asking my elderly people who had authorities and was watching over my soul. I respect and I honor and love them for that. You see what I'm saying? But the only part that I wasn't being taught is that the so-called white man, which is the number one man, came over here, which I'm not holding that against them, because that's something I can't hold something against them that they didn't know. I used to be a Seventh-day Adventist, by the way, but I found out that Seventh-day Adventist was created by a man by the name of James Bate. James Bate. I know I'm not saying the name all the way, but it was James and James White and all of them. The Seventh Adventist Church was instituted by them in 1683, I think, something like that. 1683. I think it was 1463 or 1863 is when the Seventh-day Adventist Church was fully established into an organization. I did a video on it. I haven't did it in a while, but I found out that it was all man-made. But as far as the correct day of worship and saying that the Sabbath day came from, it was changed from Sabbath to Sunday, and the sun's day and all that kind of stuff, the dedication of the sun. But they didn't. It wasn't the only thing that 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 I can't recall coming up. And I'm saying I fully respect what they taught me in that area. They was right, but the roots of it, as far as talking about God loves everybody and all, I never have gotten that part. When they talked about Genesis chapter 25 and verse 25, where it talks about the red man, refers to the so-called the white man, the so-called white man, which is the red devils that the Bible speaks of on the earth. Just like they taught us that the devil is under the ground with a long tail, with a long pitchfork, and he's down there jugging people, jugging people with a fart, which is wrong. And realize, and guess what? We've been looking at the devil all the time and didn't even know it. The devil is so-called non-Israelite people who are outside of the nation of Israel. Those are the enemies, such as the so-called white man. The so-called white man is the devil that we've been looking at for years. You've been looking at it for years. You just never recognized it, because they brainwashed us, and they just like the teachers came in through the Romans and all of that. And the Roman language is a Latin language. See, we was taken from our original language, and our original language was the Hebrew language. You see what I'm saying? And so we just been taught lies all our life. You see what I'm saying? So let's look at Proverbs 28. I think it's Proverbs 28:9. He that turneth away his ears from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be an abomination. They got another scripture in Proverbs. I think it's Proverbs. It says, lying lips are an abomination to the Most High. Yeah, lying lips are an abomination to the Most High God. He that is, okay, Proverbs, what? I need to know what I'm reading. Proverbs 14 and 17. He that is soon angry dealeth falsely. Well, I mean, dealeth foolishly. And a man of wicked device is hated. The simple enters folly, but the pardon are crowned with knowledge. The evil bow be the evil bow or bow before the good, and the wicked at the gates of the righteous. The poor is hated even of his own neighbor, but the rich has many friends. The rich, the poor is hated even of his own neighbor, but the rich has many friends. Okay. find that script where it says, lying lips are an abomination to the Most High. I know I'm close by, though. Look what now. This is talking about the weed wearing and stuff like that. You know how we take on the oppressor's ways, and how we a lot of our people is worshiping on Sunday and eating pork and all that. Look what the Bible says right here in Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Envy means don't follow what the wicked device that he had. And then it says, don't choose none of his ways. For the froward is an abomination to the Lord, but his secret is with the righteous. The curse of the Lord is upon the house of the wicked, but he blesses the inhabitation of the just. You know who the wicked are, right? I think I'm going to have to take time and read this tomorrow. You see what I'm saying? But I want to try to see if I can find the one where it says lying lips. I know I'm close by it, though. I probably won't be able to find it tonight. Because it clearly says lying lips. Let me do something right quick. Hold on. Excuse me a minute. All right, hold on. Wait a minute. I might can. Okay, I tell you what. I can take this one down. I can take that one down. The Bible says in Proverbs, lying lips are an abomination to the Lord. Proverbs 12:22. They got it up here, detestable. That's the same thing. Proverbs 12 and 22. See, I was right here, 11, 12. I was right there by. I was right here by. That's what I should have did for Proverbs 12:22. Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are his delight. That's what it says. Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord. So we have been trained and taught by our oppressors, which is our enemies, is a lie. You see what I'm saying? That's why in Proverbs 9 and 24. Proverbs 9:20. I think it's no, that's Job 9:24. I got it mixed up. My bad, y'all. Keep on. Job. Oh, here we go. I guess y'all gonna hear a lot of pages turning. You know, it's not really. And another thing, I want to talk about this too. Tomorrow, I'm not going to talk about it tonight, but I want to talk about when people say, I read the Bible through thousands of times. I read the Bible through about 10 times. Reading the Bible through, reading the Bible 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 times is not impressive. I'm going to tell you why. Reading the Bible is one thing, but studying is a whole different thing. Reading it means you're just reading it. Just like I can say, I ate me something today, but how did the food taste is another thing. Remember, I just told you I ate. So eating, like hey, you can eat anything and kill your hunger, but how did it taste? Did you enjoy it? Is another thing. And you can say, well, why did you enjoy it? Well, I enjoyed it because it was the right thing. Why did you enjoy it? Well, I really enjoyed. Did you enjoy it based upon just the taste because it tasted good, or did you enjoy it because it was healthy? Because remember, you can eat something which it doesn't mean anything, and you can. It's another thing to eat it. You just told me you ate something. Okay, I don't know. Okay, how did it taste? You don't know none of that. All you know is that somebody just said, I read the Bible. What is that? Okay. Do you understand the Bible? Now, here's the greatest part about eating. Did you eat it because it tasted real good? It was attractive to your, it's attractive to your taste. It was seductive to your taste. It just tasted good. Or what reason did you enjoy it? You can say, well, for number one, I ate it because it tastes good, because most of us love something that tastes good. Number two, what is the most important thing that you got out of eating it? And the most important thing of the real reason why you like it. I can say, well, I don't know no other reason but to say, well, for one, at least you ain't gonna get sick. You're gonna live a long time. Your lifespan is gonna be longer. Why? Because it was healthy. To me, that would be the most important thing about it, right? So it's one thing to say that I read the Bible through. That don't mean nothing. It's one thing to just read the Bible through, but it's another thing. Do you understand it? We have to understand this. I can read the Bible through, but if you don't know how to articulate it and understand and reveal it to people, you still it's just like you wasting time. It's just like you ain't reading. You reading it, but you're not understanding. So you're not prospering anything just by just reading something. It's the understanding. Somebody can jump up and say, well, you trying to push your religion on me. And I'm telling you, I don't want to hear the Bible. I don't want to hear that. You trying to push it on me and I don't want to hear it. I'm telling you, I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? And I know I have a personal relationship with God, so I don't need to hear that. You it's one thing to have read it, but if you don't know how to articulate and correct that, then it ain't did me no good to read it. I'm still a coward. I still can get beat down. Being able to understand it is one thing. And how do you read the Bible? Well, when you the way you read the Bible, you read it like what the way I was doing it. Okay. When I talked about, let me use Proverbs chapter 26 and verse 25. When he speaketh fairly, believe him not. Talking about the so-called white man. For there are 7 abominations in his heart. Okay, and then you may ask the question, well, why? Who is this? Job 9 and 24. The earth is given unto the hands of the wicked. He covers the face of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? He covers the faces of the judges, meaning that he put a fake image out there and all that kind of stuff. Lying on the prophets and putting his lies out there. And the true messengers of the real people can't get out there because he done lied. So therefore, when the people of the Most High speak to his people, like the Israelites who are brainwashed, our people can't even receive the message from us. It's because they got white supremacy in their head. Now, I'm not going to be able to do it tonight. It says, the earth is given unto the hands of the wicked. he covers the face of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Read Micah chapter 1, Malachi chapter 1. It's going to talk about the Edomites. The so-called Edomites are the border of wickedness. And you compare it with Genesis chapter 25 and verses 25. Talks about the red man, Esau. That is the wicked ones, the so-called European race. So, you see what I just did? You don't just read one text in the Bible. You read the whole its whole entirety and the context. Make sure you understand the whole context before you that's how you that's what you call studying the Bible. That's what you call getting an understanding by keeping his commandments. Yeah, that's how you do it. So there's a difference between just reading the Bible and reading it to understand, meaning that you're not just going to go whoa. You're not just going to go into the book and just read one page. Yeah, you're not just going to read one page and stop right there. And that's what happens to a lot of people. They read one thing in the Bible, then they stop right there and they just listen to lies. You can't just feed into the lies of the television. All that's white supremacy. So I guess I'm gonna stop it here. Trying to educate my people of color, on their biblical history. Trying to educate my people on their biblical history. That's the video title. See y'all later. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm out. Peace.